So you're an active woman. You're either counting calories or intermittent fasting, and you're not seeing the results that you want. Why is that? Well, there's many reasons why that could be, but today I'm going to talk to you about what it could be from a nutrition perspective. And it's likely that in some capacity, something is not quite aligned with either the specific foods that you're eating, the amount that you're eating, or when you're eating. And that could be causing you to feel heavy, low energy, losing muscle, or maybe even losing strength. So my name is Leah Moore, and for the past 21 years, I've helped hundreds of clients to build strength, lose weight, perform better, and bounce back from injuries. For instance, I helped a pregnant client to have 2 quick natural deliveries and eventually weigh less than before she even got pregnant. I also helped a doctor to regain her strength and functionality after a hip replacement that had her doctor saying she had one of the fastest recoveries that they've seen. And I also helped a woman who came to me struggling with weight gain, increased belly fat, and low muscle tone. And we worked together to get her to regain her ideal body weight in about 4 months. But I have seen a lot of active women making some subtle mistakes in terms of their nutrition, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So one of the first mistakes that I see is not staying properly hydrated. And this is so important because, first of all the processes that happen in our body needs water for those reactions to take place. And so we need adequate water to break down all the food that we're consuming. And so if there's not adequate fluids, that can make the digestive process less efficient so that we're not getting the energy from those foods and drinks to our cells in the most efficient way possible. And also, not staying hydrated can cause us to have a lower blood volume, which means that there's less nutrients flowing through the body to get to the cells. And also, it can make our blood thicker and harder for the heart to actually pump that blood throughout, which means that your heart has to work harder. And so that can cause you to feel sluggish and low on energy. And I like to check with that first when clients come to me with like low energy or just not seeing results, because I feel like that's something that is pretty easy to fix. And it's just a matter of being aware of, how hydrated you are. And one of the ways that I do that is to monitor the color of my urine. So pale yellow is ideal to signify that you are properly hydrated. You don't want to be underhydrated or overhydrated. So if you're not on any medications or supplements that affect the color of your urine, that's an easy way to kind of track where you're at. And if you're like me and sometimes you find it more challenging to stay hydrated, like if you have to go out and see a client and you maybe have to commute for like an hour or what have you, I was finding that I was not drinking as much because I didn't want to like have to use the bathroom while I'm in a commute situation and there is no bathroom. But a way to get around that is to think about hydrating with foods that have a high water content. And that way you won't feel that urge to use the bathroom, but you're still getting adequate hydration. And that could be from like fruits, vegetables, soups, cereals, anything that has like a lot of water content. You can they call that like eating your water. A second mistake that I see women making is so a lot of these women are savvy and they understand that their hormones need to be in balance to feel and look their best. And some of them are even working with a professional to balance their sexual hormones. But at the same time, they're consuming beverages that can stimulate their body to secrete more cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And this is like drinks that have a lot of caffeine or even like wine. So if you start drinking coffee like first thing in the morning and you kind of drink it without, like I know some people that do that, they drink it throughout the day and then maybe have a glass of wine with their dinner, that is like stimulating energy that can cause your cortisol to go up. And the hormone cortisol can increase body fat storage. So that is something to look out for if you're like, okay, I'm doing the workouts, eating mindfully, I'm watching what I'm eating, and why am I not seeing the results that I want? That's a place to possibly look. So we want to check to make sure we're not consuming too many things that can raise our cortisol, which, like I said, caffeine, coffee, and wine, those are some of the things that can do that. And then a third mistake that I see active women making is they will increase their physical activity, but they don't also increase the foods that they're eating to fuel those activities. Like there seems to be a misconception that, especially if you have a weight loss goal, that you need to work out more and eat less. But it's really like finding a balance because you need more calories to fuel the workouts. So if you are consistently not doing that, that can actually put your body in a stressful state. And again, we have that stress hormone, cortisol, coming into the picture. So that is something to be mindful of. And then another thing when it comes to not eating enough, I see a lot of women not eating enough protein. And this happens a lot, especially if you are intermittent fasting or you're eating plant-based or vegan. It can be very challenging if you're not very intentional and strategic about making sure that you are getting enough protein in your diet. And so that is something that you want to first know, how much protein do you need to be eating for your body weight, for your fitness goals, because if you have a goal of increasing strength and increasing muscle tone, you need to be eating even more protein. Or even to just maintain muscle, we need to be eating protein to support that. So that is a place to look as well. And a couple interesting things about protein is that, number one, it's actually better absorbed into our bodies when we consume it earlier in the day versus later. So if, let's say you are someone that skips breakfast, or you're doing intermittent fasting, and let's say you don't start eating till 1, and so your eating window is from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., you are not going to be absorbing protein at its most efficient times, which is earlier in the day. So for someone that's doing that intermittent fasting 8-hour window, I would suggest having an earlier window of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or something around that, so that you can get the benefit of the protein being incorporated into your body more efficiently. And another thing about protein is that our body can only absorb about 20 to 25 grams at a time. So once you know how much protein you need to be eating on a daily basis, what you want to do ideally is to spread your protein intake out throughout the day. So whatever your window of eating is, you just want to space it out evenly throughout the day so that you make sure you're getting that protein inside your body. And then the last mistake, this I see a lot, is that women are eating healthy foods, but there's not enough balance in their diet where they're getting all the different nutrients that their body needs. So it is possible to be eating healthy, but not eating balanced. So when I say that, I mean getting all the vitamins and the minerals that your body needs. So, so not just like getting enough carbs, protein, and fat, but all the vitamins, all the minerals. Like, we need to have certain amounts of those nutrients for our bodies to do what they're meant to do. So that is also something that can affect you seeing the results that you're working so hard for. And so, it's really unfortunate if these mistakes are not caught, because you can find yourself working so hard on your wellness routine and your results are slowing down, or they are coming to a halt, or going in the opposite direction of what you're trying to do. So like, you might be trying to lose weight and you wind up gaining weight. So that is something that, I really feel the easiest way to correct that is to just get your current diet more aligned with your goal and with your level of physical activity. That is like the most easiest, straightforward way, just one shift at a time, to dial it in. And then you will see that faster progress towards feeling more confident, especially when you're in the spotlight, having more energy to do your magical work in the world, to have happy knees, which if you're an active woman, you want your knees to be happy, and to just feel like you have more strength, for your events, for your shows, for just whatever the day may bring your way. And so I wanted to share that I have a nutrition guide for active people, and it does just that. In one place, it concisely breaks down what to eat and when for optimal performance during your physical activity, and also for optimal recovery after your physical activity, and also for nutrient balance. So to make sure that you are getting everything that your body needs so that it can function at its best. So if that is something that you feel can help you, the link is below this video, and you can grab a copy for just $22, and you can be on your way to having better energy and weight mastery. And that is what I really want for you. So if you're not in the mood to read, then I would say feel free to send me an email or send me a DM and ask me about my program that I have to help you elevate your fitness in 60 days or less, just one simple shift at a time. So you can just send me a note and ask me about that program if you don't feel like reading the nutrition guide. But in any event, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I get to meet you sometime soon.